If you've ever wondered whether a premium spinning rod actually helps you feel more bites, today I'm testing that idea with the Trika 6X in a 7-foot medium power fast action. This is the exact setup a lot of anglers look for when they want one spinning rod that can cover a ton of techniques, from finesse plastics to light jigs, without feeling like a broomstick or a noodle. Let's start with the unboxing. This rod showed up in a sturdy shipping tube, marked fragile, and everything inside was packed tight. No rattling, no crushed corners, and the rod was protected well the whole way. Delivery was quick, and the first impression was honestly premium product, premium packaging. Once you slide the rod out, the first thing you notice is how light it feels in hand. It's one of those rods where you pick it up and your brain goes, okay, this is not a typical mid-range stick. Now let's hit the quick specs so you know exactly what this model is built for. This is a 7-foot medium power fast action spinning rod. It's rated for 6 to 12 pound line and 1/8 to 1/2 ounce lures. That is basically the sweet spot for an all-around spinning rod, especially if you fish plastics, jig heads, or anything where sensitivity matters. And here's what I like about that range. It's light enough to throw finesse baits, but it's not so light that you're scared to lean into a hook set or fight a bigger fish. Medium fast is everyday practical. Build-wise, Trika leans hard into their carbon weave concept. They describe the 6X as using carbon weave blanks, a carbon reel seat, and carbon grips, and it's designed around their echo chamber and axial weave technology to amplify vibration and feel. Now, whenever a company says twice the sensitivity, I treat that as marketing, because sensitivity is hard to measure in a way that matches every angler's hands. But what I can tell you is this: the whole design language of this rod is built around feel. Everything from the minimal handle to the reel seat area is trying to keep your hand connected to what the blank is doing. One thing worth mentioning is the guide discussion. Trika says Fuji guides, and depending on where you buy it, you'll see different Fuji guide models listed. Either way, the goal is the same: keep the rod light, balanced, and smooth on the cast. Okay, what does it feel like on the water? For me, a rod earns its keep in 3 moments. Number 1, casting. Number 2, working the bait. And number 3, that first tick, when a fish barely touches it. On casting, this 7-foot length is a great do-it-all length. It loads well with lighter baits, and it still has enough backbone to drive a single hook home. The fast action helps you pop a lure where you want it, and it recovers quickly, so the tip doesn't feel sloppy after the cast. When it comes to working the bait, this is where a lighter, more responsive rod feels different. If you fish something like a Ned rig, a small jig, a wacky rig, a drop shot, or a small swim bait, you're constantly translating tiny movements through the rod. A rod that's crisp and light makes it easier to stay precise, and it's less fatiguing over a long session. Now sensitivity, the big reason people look at Trika. What I noticed is that it's very easy to tell the difference between bottom contact and something alive. When the lure hits rock versus mud, or when a fish just breathes on the bait, that information comes through clean. It's not a magic wand. You still need good line, good contact, and good focus. But it's definitely the type of rod that makes it easier to stay connected. Balance is another strong point. With a spinning reel mounted, it doesn't feel tip heavy, and that matters because a tip heavy rod makes you tired and also makes it harder to fish finesse baits with control. So who is this rod for? If you want one premium spinning rod that can cover a wide range, bass, walleye, river smallmouth, even some inshore situations, this 7-foot medium fast makes a lot of sense. It's a technique generalist, but it's a generalist with a finesse mindset. It's not built to throw giant baits or heavy cover stuff. It's built for feel, accuracy, and versatility. Now let's be real about price and value. The Trika 6X sits in the premium category. The trade-off is that you're paying for lightweight, sensitivity-focused design and higher-end components. Trika also backs their rods with a multi-year warranty, and that matters if you're actually going to fish the rod hard. Here are the quick pros and cons from my perspective. Pros: super lightweight in hand, crisp, fast action that works well for a lot of techniques. Sensitivity is the star. Bottom contact and light bites come through clearly. Feels premium and well thought out in the handle and reel seat area. Cons: premium price. Not everyone needs to spend this much. If your main style is heavy lures, big fish in thick cover, or power fishing only, you might prefer a heavier power rod. And if you're expecting twice the sensitivity to feel like a totally different sport, keep your expectations realistic. It's a high-end tool, not a cheat code. So, final verdict. If you're the type of angler who loves feeling every tap, every change in bottom, and every subtle bite, and you want one spinning rod that can do a lot, the Trika 6X 7-foot medium fast is absolutely worth a look. If you've got questions about what reel, line or baits I'd pair with it, drop a comment. And if you want more rod reviews like this with real on the water footage, hit subscribe and I'll keep them coming.